Welcome to The Explainer. We're here to break down some pretty big topics into guides that are, actually clear and easy to understand. I mean, who hasn't thought about this, right? Cheaper, cleaner energy that you actually share with your neighbors. It sounds almost too good to be true, but it's not. We're going to dig into how you can make this a reality by starting something called an energy community, or as they say in Austria, an Energiegemeinschaft. All right, so let's get right into it. What exactly is an energy community? And maybe more importantly, why would you even want to start one? Because, spoiler alert, it's about a whole lot more than just electricity. Okay, so when you look at the goals, it's pretty powerful. Of course, there are the economic benefits. Who doesn't want lower energy prices and reduced grid costs? That's a huge one. And you're doing your part for the climate, lowering that CO2 footprint. But honestly, the really cool part, the thing that gets me excited, is the community aspect. You're tackling energy poverty, building a real sense of connection with your neighbors, and just making your local area stronger. It's a win-win-win. So who can join one of these? Well, that's what's so neat. You've got a few different roles you can play. You can be a straight-up consumer just using the energy. Or maybe you're a producer. You've got a ton of solar panels and you're just feeding power in. But most people, they end up being what's called a prosumer. It's this hybrid role where you're both a producer and a consumer. You use what you need and you share the extra. It's super flexible. All right, so the why is pretty clear, right? It's a fantastic idea. But how do you actually do it? Let's get into the nitty-gritty and look at the first few steps you need to take to lay the foundation. Okay, so it really boils down to three big first steps. Step one is all about the concept and your team. You got to figure out your goals, get your neighbors on board, and, make sure the amount of energy you're making roughly matches what you'll be using. Then, step two, you have to make it official. You need to form some kind of legal entity. Most often, it's an association or a Verein. And finally, step three is drafting all the internal rules. This is your contract, the playbook for how everything's going to work, pricing, who can join, how you share power, all that good stuff. And let's talk about that legal structure for a sec, the Verein. This is super important. The whole point of setting it up this way is that its main purpose can't be about making money. It's not a for-profit business. Any extra cash you generate has to go right back into the community to help achieve your shared goals. It's baked right into the legal framework, which is pretty cool. So you've got your plan, you've got your legal setup, now what? Well, now it's time to plug into the system. This is the part where you go from being a local group to a real, recognized player on the energy grid. Okay, these next steps can look a little intimidating, a little technical, but they're not so bad when you break them down. Step 4 is getting registered as an official market partner. Then step 5, you sign a contract with your local grid operator. And finally, step 6 is registering on something called the EDA platform, which is how you'll get all the important data. So think of it like this. You're getting your official business license, you're hooking up your pipes, and you're turning on the meter. And, after that step 4, something really important happens. Your community gets its own unique ID. It looks like just a string of numbers and letters, but it's so much more. This is basically your ticket to the big leagues. It means you are now an official, recognized entity in the Austrian energy market. It's a huge milestone. And that last registration step, the EDA platform, that's where the magic really happens. The EDA portal is basically the digital brain of your whole operation. It's the central hub that pulls in all the data from everyone's smart meters. So at any given moment, you can see exactly who's producing energy, who's using it. It gives you the complete picture. And just like that, you're connected. The system is live. So congratulations. But of course, the work isn't over. Now comes the ongoing part. Running the community day to day. So what does that actually look like? Okay, so there are really two sides to this. On one hand, you've got the energy community itself, the people in charge. They're handling all the behind-the-scenes stuff, checking the data, managing who's in and who's out, doing the billing, all that admin work. But for the members, for you, it's super simple. You don't get some new confusing bill. Instead, you just see the awesome results on your regular utility bill, like lower costs and credits for the energy you shared. It's designed to be totally seamless. Okay, so we've gone through legal forms, grid contracts, data portals, billing, and I bet right about now a lot of you are thinking the same thing. Does this really have to be so complicated? I mean, let's be real. The payoff is huge, but that's a lot of administrative and technical hoops to jump through. It takes time, it takes some know-how, and you've got to stay on top of it all. So this brings you to a fork in the road, really. You have two main paths. There's the DIY route, where you and your community roll up your sleeves and handle all the paperwork, all the registrations, all the spreadsheets yourselves. Or there's another way. You can partner up with a service that's built to automate all that heavy lifting for you. So what do these automated services actually do for you? Well, think of a company like SoStrom. They basically act as your guide. They can help with the really tricky founding stuff, like feasibility studies and getting the legal docs right. But then, and this is key, they give you a digital platform that automates all the ongoing headaches. We're talking billing, member management, data visualization, even tax stuff. It's kind of like having an expert on your team 24/7. Yeah, and as one of these providers puts it, their digital platform automates the processes of your energy community and increases efficiency on all levels. And that's the whole point, right? They handle the bureaucracy so you can focus on the community part of your energy community. So, at the end of the day, which path is right for you? DIY or with an expert? Honestly, there's no wrong answer. It really just depends on how much time and energy your group has and how comfortable you are with all the red tape. But here's the most exciting part. No matter which path you choose, they both lead to the same incredible place. A place with more energy independence, a stronger local community, and a cleaner future that you helped build right from the ground up.